like Dave Chappelle is not a fan of Katt Williams running his mouth on all these podcasts and interviews, because he just checked Katt and shamed him for speaking on black artists, calling him out for being disrespectful and kind of racist towards his own people. This did not go down well with Katt, who was quick to call Dave out for being a hypocrite and pointed out how Dave has had a history of also calling out celebs who are shady and have been moving weird. It looks like some sort of beef is going down between these two, and things are about to get really messy. Now, Katt Williams has been in the news since the year started because of his explosive interview with Shannon Sharpe on the Club Shay Shay podcast earlier this month. Katt started the year off with a bang when he went on the podcast and slammed half of the black artists in Hollywood, calling them out for being fake, being thieves, and a whole lot of other messy stuff. For example, he called out Steve Harvey for stealing jokes from other comedians and lying about his past. He even claimed that Steve used to attend his shows just to steal his jokes and later passed them off as his own.
The same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. Then you ask it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good, baby, and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none.
He also exposed Steve for lying about being broke early on in his career, claiming that Steve never had to live in his car like he claimed because he was making about $3,000 per show at the time, and he was having 5 shows per week.
These are lies.
He went in on Steve, calling him a fraud who had faked his way to the top of his career. He also claimed that he was the king of comedy and not Steve. He then went in on Kevin Hart, and boy did he have a lot to say about Kevin. He called Kevin out for being a Hollywood plant, saying that Kevin is not as successful as he likes to pretend to be. He claimed that none of Kevin's shows have ever been sold out or even had a long line of people eager to watch him perform.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
He also clowned Kevin for taking his leftovers. According to Katt, most of the comedy roles that Kevin has gotten in the past couple of years were originally meant for him. He claimed that he passed on the roles because he found them humiliating. He also said that whenever he asked the producers to tweak the script a little and take out the humiliating bits, they would take the script to Kevin, who was more than happy to take on the humiliating role.
For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem, and then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like,
he then pointed out how Kevin had been lowering his moral standards since the very beginning, like the time he finally gave in and wore a dress, even after he swore that he was never going to wear dresses.
Then you would understand that part. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision, duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you?
He really seemed to have it in for Kevin because he even went as far as to team up with Kevin's ex-wife, Teray, to go on a comedy tour, and the streets are saying that they are going to be spilling a whole lot of tea and clowning Kev. Oh, and let's not even get into the topic of how he claimed that Diddy tried to make him his boy toy, and when he refused, Diddy offered him $50 million for a one-night stand.
I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Katt, I need to know.
Now, this isn't Katt's first rodeo with spilling tea on artists, because he has come to be known for that sort of thing. He has been exposing celebs for years now, and when he speaks, people actually listen and they believe him. That's why the interview on Club Shay Shay went viral within minutes of it being posted. Now, several people have come out to slam Katt for the interview, like Kevin Hart, who called him a clown, but it looks like he managed to piss off more people than we know. And Dave Chappelle is one of such people, because Dave just checked Katt for going too far, dragging black artists, and telling him that he went too far. But the weird thing is, just like Katt, Dave Chappelle is also known for speaking on the crazy, shady parts of the industry and calling out the powers that be for their involvement in some really sneaky practices. So if he thinks that Katt went too far, well, y'all better know that Dave is big mad. According to reports, Dave went on a rant against Katt at his recent show, where he called Katt out for being disrespectful toward black artists, pointing out how Katt never has anything to say about white artists. He said, "What part of the game is this?" He ethered ninjas. He didn't say anything about any of these white boys. None of these white boys function like that. Katt is one of the best painters in the game. So why are you drawing ugly pictures of us? Stop. Hurt people, but I am a hurt person that never hurt people. And he does it all the time. He also called Katt out for being a hypocrite, pointing out how Katt is more than happy to point out mistakes in other people while ignoring his own faults. He said he didn't do nothing wrong. Katt didn't do nothing wrong. Katt was talking about ish that ninjas did to other guys, but not about anything that others did to him. He also said, "If I told my story, it would break your heart. I lost everything and never ever told on anybody." And he is acting like the arbiter of truth. Katt, listen, I F with Katt hard, but D-Ray, tell me, what part of the game F's up another ninja's paper? What part of the game is about telling on another ninja? Basically, he called Katt out for being a snitch and dragging black artists, but according to insiders, Katt is furious at Dave for speaking on him, saying that Dave is a hypocrite. He pointed out how Dave had also been speaking on the industry for the longest time, but all of a sudden, he got all huffy and puffy when Katt started to speak. The insider added that Katt believes that Dave is starting to compromise his personal convictions, and that is why he is trying to silence Katt. Katt seems to speak the minds of fans, because they are not with Dave on this one, and they have asked him to sit it out, saying, Dave needs to have a seat on this one. He already said he was mad because Katt outshined his special. Katt said what he said, period. Sounds like Dave is just feeling some type of way now that all the shine was on Katt, shaking my head. Katt only came after those that lied on him, and he was responding. Where was Dave when Kevin Hart said he gave up his career for? You guys drop your thoughts about this in the comments below, then check out this next video.